Welcome to World Facts. So this time I will discuss interesting facts about everything in the world for those of you who want to know. Let's watch the following video. The following, World Facts, will present the mysteries of the world's most dangerous and deadly oceans. The sea is one of the most amazing places on Earth. Many people like to spend their time at the ocean and the beach. By vacationing at the beach, they can visit tourist attractions while swimming, sunbathing, and surfing. But in fact, there are some seas that we should not visit. World Facts will show you some of the most dangerous and deadliest seas in the world. The Blue Hole is a giant hole located 70 kilometers from the coast of Belize, Central America, and has a length of 318 meters and a depth of 125 meters. This is the second deepest underwater hole after the Dragon Hole in China, which has a depth of about 300 meters. Despite its enormous size, this structure is located in the middle of the world's second largest coral reef, the Belize Barrier Reef, and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Since Jacques Cousteau, marine biologists explored the site and made a documentary about it in 1971. The site became very popular and invited many divers to visit it at that time. Cousteau also named the Great Blue Hole as one of the top 5 dive sites in the world. Although millions of people have visited the Great Blue Hole, nothing has touched the bottom of the giant hole thought to have formed since the end of the Ice Age. The situation changed when recently the founder of the Virgin Group company, Richard Branson, brought Jacques Cousteau's grandson, Fabien Cousteau, and other experts to dive into the Great Blue Hole. The average diver is usually only able to descend to a depth of 40 meters. This means Branson and his team's dives are the first to reach the ocean floor. Branson, Fabien Cousteau, and their team undertake a submarine-assisted exploration of the Great Blue Hole, as part of the Aquatica submarine expedition. They have been to this site many times before. In addition to being the first to dive to the bottom of the Great Blue Hole, they also managed to obtain high-resolution images and map the interior of the giant hole in detailed 3D. In addition, the team also collects and analyzes scientific data related to water quality and the bacteria that live there. They discovered something that might be interesting to study in the future: low oxygen on the ocean floor. Analysis of sediments in the Great Blue Hole also shows periods of extreme drought during the 10th century, suggesting that the environment may have played a role in the collapse of the Maya civilization between 800 and 1000 BC. Lake Kivu in Africa, precisely in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, which is famous for its beautiful scenery, turns out to contain a deadly gas. Researchers at Lake Kivu were reportedly shocked when the Nyiragongo volcano erupted violently, sending underwater tremors to their place. It wasn't the lava flows from the mountain that worried and scared them, but the huge concentration of potentially explosive gas in Lake Kivu, one of Africa's Great Lakes located between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This lake has a beautiful view with clear water like glass and flanked by green hills. According to François Darchambault of Kivu, a company that extracts gas from lake water for electricity, Kivu is not as calm as it seems. Thousands of years of volcanic activity have caused massive buildup of methane and carbon dioxide in Lake Kivu. If anything triggers an explosion of these gases, what is called a limnic eruption, or a large explosion of gas from deep water to the surface, resulting in massive waves and clouds of toxic gas that will endanger the lives of millions of people. This is what we call the killer lake, said a limnologist, as quoted by Science Alert. There are only 3 lakes that contain gas and have the potential to cause explosions in the world, namely Lake Kivu and Lake Nyos and Manoon in northwestern Cameroon. Lake Nyon and Manoon experienced limnic eruptions in the 1980s. In the case of Lake Nyos, the disaster was quite large and caused more than 1,700 victims due to the release of toxic carbon dioxide. Darchambault said a similar disaster could occur in the nearby Kivu area. If this happens, then about 2 million people will be at risk of experiencing a similar disaster. In the regions of Rwanda and Congo, people live in fear because lakes have the potential to explode. Then the fear is exacerbated by the many stories of swimmers disappearing into the depths of the lake or being pulled under the lake. The Bermuda Triangle in the Atlantic Ocean is an area in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean. The shape of the area is defined as a triangle with the north end being Bermuda, United Kingdom Overseas Territory. Puerto Rico, United States, as the point in the south, and Miami, the largest metropolis of Florida, United States, as the point in the west. The Bermuda Triangle is famous for the unexplained disappearances of ships and planes and the strange meteorological phenomena that are said to occur here. In 1964, Vincent Gaddis wrote in Argosy magazine about the boundaries of the Bermuda Triangle, giving the nod as Miami, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. Subsequent authors do not follow this definition. Several authors assign different boundaries and vertices to the triangle, with the total area varying from 1,300,000 to 3,900,000 square kilometers. Indeed, some writers have even stretched it all the way to the Irish coast. Consequently, the determination of accidents occurring within the triangle depends on the authors reporting them. During Christopher Columbus's voyage, while crossing the Bermuda Triangle area, one of his crew members said he saw a strange light flashing on the horizon. Some people said they had observed something like a meteor. In his notes he wrote that the navigation equipment did not function properly while in the area. Missing events in the area were first documented in 1951 by E.V.W. Jones of the Associated Press magazine. Jones wrote an article about the mysterious disappearances that befell planes and the sea in the area and referred to it as the Devil's Triangle. It was brought up again the following year by Fate magazine with an article by George X. In 1964, Vincent Gaddis called the area the Deadly Bermuda Triangle, after the term Bermuda Triangle became a common term. Another explanation for the mysterious disappearance of planes and ships is the presence of methane gas in these waters. This theory was first published in 1981 by the United States Agency for Geological Investigation. This theory has been successfully tested in the laboratory and the results have satisfied several people with a plausible explanation for the mystery of the disappearance of planes and ships passing through the region. According to Bill Dillon of the U.S. Geological Survey, white light is the cause. In the Bermuda Triangle area, but in several other areas along the edge of the continent, there are methane mines. These mines are formed when methane gas builds up beneath an impenetrable seabed. This gas can appear suddenly from the cracked seafloor. The water through which this gas passes boils until it appears as white glowing water. Similar explosions that occurred in the Caspian Sea have killed many victims while drilling for oil. The rescue teams that were deployed found no remains at all. Maybe because the tools and humans who were victims were sucked in by the whirlpool, and fell into the cracks in the seabed. The land and water that originally rose to the top but then settled again on the seabed, piled up everything. One of the famous and enduring tales in the many mysterious cases of the disappearance of planes and ships passing through the Bermuda Triangle is Flight 19. Flight 19 was an Air Force unit of 5 United States Navy bombers. The flight was last seen taking off at Fort Lauderdale, Florida on December 5, 1945. The planes on Flight 19 were systematically built by aeronautical and marine experts to deal with adverse situations, but suddenly disappeared easily after submitting reports of strange sight phenomena, which were deemed absurd.